Hi everyone, welcome to this beginner-friendly crochet tutorial. If you've ever wanted to learn how to crochet, you are in the right place. In today's video, I'll guide you through the basics on how to make a slip knot, how to crochet a chain, and work the three foundational stitches: the single crochet, the double crochet, and the treble crochet. By the end of this video, you'll have all the skills to start your first project. So let's get started. Before we begin, let's talk about the tools and materials you'll need. First, you need a crochet hook. I love using metallic or aluminum hook. They slide very easily, and they're just easy to use. You probably want to start out with like a medium size hook, like a 4mm or a 5mm. This hook is a 4.5mm today. And next, choose a medium weight yarn in a lighter color. It's easier to see your stitches with the lighter yarn, and it just makes it easier for you to get started. You will also need a pair of scissors, and stitch markers can be very helpful to keeping track of your progress. First, let's start out with the slip knot. So there's a million different ways for you to start making your slip knot. I will show you how I prefer to do it. So it could be just as easy as holding your yarn like this, make like a little loop, and all you need to do is twist your yarn, and then you grab the yarn here and pull it tight, and that could be your slip knot. So I'm just going to show this to you one more time. So just hold your working yarn like this, and then you twist the yarn, and then you're gonna go in with your fingers and you grab the yarn and you pull it tight. So that's one way to do it. My preferred method is just to put my yarn clockwise around my middle finger, then I put it clockwise around my pointy finger, and then I take my thumb and my middle finger just to hold the yarn. So I have a tendency to have pretty tight tension. So you can see right here is a pretty tight tension. I don't know if it has something to do with me being a control freak. If this is too tight, you can just, just go around the index finger, and then you would hold on the yarn like this with the two fingers, and then you hold with your middle and your thumb. So whichever you're comfortable with, and it might be different on your days, because sometimes my hands feel a little bit more slippery than other days. So once I hold the yarn like this, I take my hook. So you can hold your hook like a knife, kind of like how you would chop a knife. That's one way to hold the hook. And another way to hold the hook is like a pen. You can do it this way as well. I prefer to hold it this way, but you try how to hold it, and you will do whatever you're comfortable with. So I got my yarn right here. I go from behind the yarn with my hook, and then I twist the yarn, and then I go with my hook, I pull the yarn, and I pull through. And that is the way I do my slip knot. So let's do this one more time. So I hold my yarn, I go from behind the yarn, I hook the yarn around, and I come back on top. So you kind of twisted the yarn around your hook in a sense, and then just hold on to the bottom a little bit, and then put your hook behind the long side of the yarn, and you pull through, and that would be your slip stitch. Now that we have done our slip knot, we are going to learn the second thing that you need to know, is how to crochet a chain. It's a foundation chain. So you hold your hook in your dominant hand and you have your yarn in the other hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook. So hold on to your work here with your left hand, okay, with your non-dominant hand. And then you take your hook, you wrap it around your yarn. So you pull it like that. So basically, in a sense, you go clockwise, right? So you go behind the yarn, and then you're gonna pull the hook through the loop on your hook. And that is how you make your first chain. So let's repeat this process. So I always like to hold on to my work here with my left hand. You take your hook, you go behind your yarn, you pull it through your loop, and that creates your chain. So we have chain 1 and chain 2 right now. Let's go ahead and do it again. Hook behind the yarn, pull through the loop, and that is how to crochet a chain. And remember to keep your tension even. This will help your stitches look nice and uniform. So I'm just going to go ahead and make 10 chains. So I have 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th chain. Here's chain number 5, and then move your hand up the work so you'll maintain even tension. 6, 7, put your hook behind your yarn, pull it through the loop. 8, 9, 10. I think I'm at 10. Doesn't matter. So this is what your chain will look like. And you can see that the chains are very even looking, and so that means that your tension was a good tension. Now that you have a foundation chain, let's learn the single crochet stitch. So what you want to do is you want to insert your hook into the second chain from the hook. So this is your first chain. This was your last chain, making this the second chain from the hook. So you don't go into the first chain, but you're going to insert your hook into the second chain from the hook. So you insert it like this. You grab the yarn from behind and you pull it through. Now you should have 2 chains on your hook. What you're going to do is you're going to grab the yarn and do a yarn over, and then you're going to pull this through both of the loops that's there, and this is your first single crochet. So whatever project I do, I always take a stitch marker and mark my first stitch, so this way I don't get lost. So that was your first single crochet. So at first it might be hard for you to see where the next chain is. So you can see right here, this is where we just went in. So our next chain would be here, right? So don't be fooled by this big hole here that you have right here. So you're going to insert your hook into the next chain from front to back like this. You're going to grab your yarn from behind and you're going to pull it through. Now you have 2 chains on your hook. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through both loops. That was your second single crochet. So this is the first one right here, and this one is the second one. Okay, so knowing where your next chain is just as important. So you can see right here, this is where we just went in, and this is going to be our next chain. So we're going to insert our hook into the next chain. You're going to grab your yarn, you're going to pull through, so you're going to have 2 loops. You're going to grab your yarn over and pull through 2. That is your single crochet. And I'm going to single crochet all the way to the end of the row. And the first row is always the hardest to crochet. And here we are, our last stitch, and this was our slip knot. So you can see that little bump here that marks the end of your chain. So this is our last chain. Insert, pull up loop, and here we go. So that is your single crochet stitch. Let's learn how to crochet a double crochet, and I'm gonna turn my work. So the double crochet is taller than the single crochet. So whenever you turn your work, you wanna bring your yarn up to height. So for the double crochet, I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 yarn overs or 2 chains. For the double crochet, I'm going to do 2 chains to come up to height. So that was 1 chain, and that's 2 chains, and then I'm going to turn it around. So you can see here, this is chain 1, chain 2, making this our first stitch. For the double crochet, you are going to starting with a yarn over on your hook. So you yarn over before, yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, and then you pull the yarn through your stitch. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. What you're going to do is you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through 2 of the 3 loops. And then you have 2 loops left on your hook. You yarn over again and you pull through to the remaining 2 loops, and that is your double crochet. So you can see that the double crochet is almost as tall as the single crochet. Okay, so let's do this again. Make sure you know where your next stitch is, which is right here. So you yarn over, you're going to insert your hook into your next stitch, you're going to pull the yarn through, now you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and you yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. And here's your second double crochet. Let's continue working this row. Yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you can see with the tall stitch, whatever project you work with, a double crochet works up very fast because it just creates a lot of fabric when you work the double crochet. Okay, here I'm at the end of the row, so the first stitch always hides after you start crocheting, which is why I always like to put the stitch marker. With the stitch marker, you can tell which one was your first, or your last stitch in this case, and it's easy for you to not to miss it. So you can go ahead and take out your stitch marker and yarn over, put through your stitch, and finish your double crochet. And that's what your double crochet looks like. So the bottom row right here was your single crochet, and then from here to here is your double crochet. So next up, we are going to be learning the treble crochet, which is even taller than the double crochet. So I'm going to bring my yarn to height of a treble crochet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 3. So pull your yarn through the loop. That's chain 1. This is chain 2. And this is chain 3. So this is about how tall a treble crochet is. So I wanted to bring it up to height 1, 2, 3, which makes this one your first stitch. Okay, so you're going to turn your work. For the treble crochet, you're going to yarn over 2 times, 1, 2. So you're going to yarn over twice before inserting your hook into the next stitch. Now I'm going to insert, I'm going to pull my yarn, and if you count, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook. Now that I have 4 loops on my hook, I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through 2 loops, then you have 3 loops left, and I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through another 2 loops. Now I have 2 loops left, so I'm going to yarn over and pull through both loops left, and that makes the treble crochet. So you can see it's even taller than the double. So this marks basically the first stitch of the treble crochet right here. I always mark it, like I said, it's easy to lose the beginning and the end. So if you have a stitch marker, really helpful. So let's do the treble crochet one more time. Look where your next stitch is, which is this one in this case. You're going to yarn over twice on your hook before inserting. 1, 2. Put your hook through the next stitch and grab the yarn. Now you have 4 loops. Now I always hold on to my work pretty close to where the stitch is. That's how I maintain my tension. So don't hold it over here or anything like that. Maintain it close and it's easier for you to crochet. And then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through another 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. So we just did 3 treble crochets. So let's go ahead and work the treble crochet until the end of the row. 1 yarn over, 2 yarn over, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Here are some tips for beginners. First, don't worry if your stitches aren't perfect. Practice makes progress, and work on maintaining even tension to create consistent stitches. If your hands are tired, which they will get, take breaks, and don't be afraid to start over if something does not feel right or does not look right. Remember, crocheting is supposed to be fun and relaxing. So here's what we learned today. We learned the slip knot, the chain stitch, the single crochet, the double crochet, and the treble crochet today. With these skills or these stitches, you can tackle a variety of beginner projects. If you did find this video helpful at all, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more crochet tutorials, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to learn next. Thanks for watching and happy crocheting.